Welcome all to Eat, Drink, and Explore with Cece. Today we're making a casserole, and I'm making a casserole so that it's meal prep. I have it ready in the fridge, ready to go for the week. I don't have to worry about it. It's also a great dish. You can have it all done, freeze it, and pull it out at any time. Now, what I'm showing you here in terms of vegetables, you can add whatever vegetables you want in here, but just be careful. You want to make sure that you don't add vegetables that have a lot of water content to them. And in terms of the meat, I have this beautiful 8 ounces of ham in here. And so I just slice those up, and that's about 8 ounces that we're going to be putting in. There. So you can substitute that with any type of meat you want. So as long as the meat that you're putting in is cooked, it has to be cooked, okay? And I have 2 cups of shredded cheese. The cheese can be sharp cheddar, can be any cheese combination you have. Just happen to have a mozzarella cheddar combination in the fridge. And I have 500 milliliters or 16 ounces of sour cream. You're going to need 1 red bell pepper. That ends up being about a half a cup, a little bit more than a half a cup of red bell pepper, and I dice them small. I have half a cup of spring onions, scallions, green onions, and a half a cup of celery. And I have a half a cup, almost 3/4 cup of shredded carrots. Again, you notice it's all about color combination for me. You're going to need 2 cans of cream of something, all right? So you can have cream of mushroom, cream of broccoli, cream of celery, cream of potato, up to you. I've got 2 cans of cream of celery, and we are going to use tots. So you're going to use some tasty potato tots, hash browns, and I picked up these as well, but they've also been seasoned, so I thought I'd make a mixture of that. Okay, and you're going to need half a cup of Parmesan cheese. I'm going to shred that on top once we're done, and we've got some beautiful chives here for the topping. And in terms of seasoning, let's go through the seasoning here. So I have 1 teaspoon of ground mustard, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of dry thyme, and 1.5 teaspoon of onion powder. And then salt and black pepper to taste. So super easy to get started with this. It's literally taking everything and dumping it, which is my favorite. But first thing we're going to do is I'm going to actually take the seasoning, and using the same sour cream container, why dirty another dish? I'm going to start to add in some of the seasoning and mix that in together. Oh, and by the way, you want to preheat the oven to 350. I've got that going right now. Now, if you had the foresight of doing this ahead of time, and you could have pre-seasoned your sour cream before you got started, so that would have added a lot more depth to the dish, but since I'm doing everything together, it's okay. I just know that I've always done this. Sometimes I do it at the same time, sometimes I pre-season it, and it comes good, and it comes really tasty in each which way you do it, but I find that pre-seasoning the sour cream works tremendously. So, all right, so there we go. All right, that's done. So now we're just going to take a bowl, and we're going to add in the potatoes. And this is what I call semi-homemade. Okay, so I'm going to be using this. So you're going to need 32 ounces of potatoes, have them frozen, and that bag was 650 grams. Okay, so it's about 24 ounces. So we'll just grab some more. and you just eyeball it. Okay, so that should be good. So a nice different combination of tots. Okay. And then we just simply dump in the vegetables. I'm just going to mix it around. Can you see that? This is a great dish for family gatherings where you want to take something over, potluck, church gatherings. Everybody loves potatoes. Hard to find somebody who does not like potatoes. So you see, I try to sneak in as much vegetables as I possibly can into all my dishes. Now, if you don't have any vegetables and all you had was the tater tots, the meat component and the cheese and the cream and the canned soup thing, you know, that works as well. That works fine as well. I have done that before. Okay. And I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Let's mix that together. And I always like to do these in stages so that I know that everything gets seasoned together, right? So we got that all mixed, so we'll put this aside. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine the soup, the cream of celery, and the sour cream all together. I'm going to get that nicely whisked together, and then I'll mix it in to the tater tots. This is something that just disappears off the table in an instant. So 2 cans of whatever cream of soup you want to put in there. Just, you know, keep in mind the flavor components that you're mixing together. Okay, and then I'm going to mix in the sour cream. That's 16 ounces of sour cream. You can use 5% low fat, whatever sour cream combination percentage that you have. I just so happen to have the 14% in the fridge. And what I love about this dish that I'm making is it helps me clear out the fridge before grocery day. So I just look at what I have, put it all together. So between the fridge and the pantry, you can always find something you can put together. So you can see why I like to mix this in a bowl by itself before I add it to the potato concoction. So it allows me to make sure that I have everything mixed in together. By doing this, taking the time just to mix it in together before you put it in the casserole dish, it actually helps distribute the flavors. And you don't have lumps of soup in one area and lumps of cream cheese in another. I did that once and I did not like it. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a quick taste for seasonings. Perfect. No need to add any extra. Doesn't that look so inviting? And plop. Okay, and so I'll save a little bit at the end just to add to the top when I mix it together. So let's clean up. So what I like to do is I do like to prepare the dish. This just helps for removing and clean up at later. I'm just using avocado spray. I love to use the avocado spray for this type of work. I love casserole dishes. Stick them in the oven, forget, have something warm and gooey to have for dinner. Not had any complaints yet. So, just pop that in. Okay. Can you guys see that? Hopefully I'm giving you a good camera shot. Pop it in that corner. Try to get the corners filled up. And then I like to sprinkle some cheese. I could have put the cheese with the potatoes and the sour cream and all of that, mix that all in together, but I like to have layers. So this will ooze down. Okay. And then here is the cooked ham. And I love to like have strips like this. Okay. Put the remaining potatoes on the top. This is why I put the meat layer on the top, so that when you do cut into it and you cook it, you'll see some of that meat peeking out. And then we go to the remaining mixture. And this guarantees that it stays nice and moist. And then it'll also ooze down to the bottom. And then you've got flavor right throughout. I know it's a really simple casserole, but it's the preparation and the layers and the thought that you put into it is what makes it, takes it to the next level, let's say. And the sour cream has this beautiful tanginess to the dish. I love it. If you're making something for two, you can definitely cut what I just did here in half and make half a tray. But trust me, make the whole thing, cook it off and then have it to eat, or do the whole thing and put it in two small Pyrex casserole dishes, and then put one in the freezer and bake the other one. So you've got a meal ready to go. Okay, and let's put the remaining cheese on top. And then what I like to do with the Parmesan cheese, I like to use my rasper. Okay, and I will actually flip it over. I'm not using it the correct way, but you need about half a cup. And this will add some beautiful nuttiness and a little bit of salt to the dish. And if you're looking for the recipe, don't forget to hit the more button and look at the description below. I always put the ingredients list there for you, and then you can follow along watching the video. Okay. It looks like we are good to go. Let me sort of just cover that up a little bit. I'm pushing it into the corners. Okay, we're ready to put that in the oven. So you want to have preheated your oven to 350. So what I did is I actually put this on the bottom rack of my oven, and then I'll move it up to the top rack when I want to get a nice broil on it. But this will be a nice even bake on this.
So this is what it looks like 15 minutes in, and I have a convection oven, so it was much faster.
Okay, so here we have the casserole, the hash brown bacon casserole, all complete and done. It looks so yummy. So let's cut into it. Can you guys see that? I'm sure you guys are on camera. The first scoop's always the fun part. I like to use my trusty fish spatula because it's bendy and I can get right in there. Smells good. Oh, look at that. Look at that gooiness. Oops. Look at that. Looks so good. So let's give this one a try. That's warm and comforting. That's tasty and crunchy. I would recommend that when you put in the vegetables into this dish, you do not cook them. Put them in raw because that'll add that nice crunch. That's a great casserole. That is so good. You guys can see that. The gooiness in there, the cheesiness. It is so yummy and so comforting, and it's a great casserole to have in the freezer, ready to go for last minute dinners. Such an easy dish to do, and it definitely utilizes pantry items, and I call it semi-homemade because I took advantage of the freezer aisle of the hash brown tots that were available to us and added that into the dish, and took advantage also of the soup cans already made, so I didn't have to make the sauce from scratch. Once again, thank you for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed this dish and you make it. Tell me how else you would augment this dish. Add that into the comments. Would love to hear. And if you're new to the channel, welcome to the community. If you're a returning champion, thank you so much for your love. If you have not yet subscribed, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let YouTube know that you love this channel so that we can grow it and have more people join that community. Really looking for your support. Once again, thank you all for spending your time with me. Greatly appreciate it. Have a fabulous day. Ciao for now.